Orleans Saints fans, I am Todd Graffanini. This is John DeShazer. It is day 13 of New Orleans Saints training camp. It is the New Orleans Saints training camp report right here on CST. Another inside, outside day. Season ticket holders were outside at the Ochsner Sports Performance Center. But finally, JD, there is light at the end of the tunnel. We've said it now for a week. We've got a game to talk about on Saturday night in Baltimore.
Well, that's what everybody wants to get to. You want to get to that competition against an opponent. All the work against your teammates, it's productive, but you want to unleash that on someone that you don't like so much, and that happens to be the Ravens on Saturday night.
No question about it. Walkthrough tomorrow, then the team on the plane headed up to Baltimore. But Saturday's a very important day, obviously, because you're going to get a chance to see this team now against somebody else. As head coach Sean Peyton discussed post-practice today on what he expects to see on Saturday.
You don't want to see a lot of penalties or sloppy penalties. You know, the basic fundamentals of the game, you know, you want to see pad level where it should be. Now that typically in the first preseason game at times can be a big alert. You know, you want to see the blocking and tackling that you've been coaching. So really the fundamentals that are necessary to play this game well.
Well, Saturday in Baltimore, also a big day for the quarterbacks, JD. We still don't know what the rotation is going to be, who's going to take that first snap. What Sean Payton did say is whomever takes those first snaps on Saturday, it's going to be completely flip-flopped the next game against Jacksonville. The bottom line is both Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston will play Saturday night.
Yeah, folks, put your tea leaves down. Don't read too much into who starts on Saturday. Don't read too much into who starts preseason game number 2. These are evaluation periods, so one guy will get a chance to work with the starters, the other guy will get a chance to work with the starters. You got to make it even so you can get an even evaluation.
All right, here's Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill on Saturday night's preseason game in Baltimore.
You know, last year we didn't have a preseason, so I'm excited for really the guys who have been waiting on this moment, and I've been waiting on this moment to get back on the field and play. So I think that's the biggest thing we're going to accomplish as a team is to, you know, to see how we have improved so far in camp and get the chance to compete against a really great organization and team.
I'm excited for a lot of guys. You know, there's a lot of really good relationships, a lot of good friendships in the locker room, and this is a great opportunity for everybody. And I look forward to these opportunities just as those guys do.
Well, you just heard two veterans talking about what they're going to experience on Saturday night. You also got a couple of rookies that are going to be putting the black and gold on for the first time. Also, JD, cornerback Deuce Wallace and safety Bryce Thompson. What an exciting moment it's going to be for those two young men.
Yeah, ultra important for them. They're undrafted rookies, and this is where you make your mark in practice, in preseason games. You have to take advantage of those reps. Neither one of these guys is a first-round draft pick. He's not assured of anything, so he's got to show up big.
Here's Bryce and Deuce on Saturday night.
Oh, I'm extremely excited. I haven't played since November last year. This is my first NFL game ever. Not a lot of people can say that, so I'm extremely excited. Just can't wait for it, honestly.
I'm really itching, but honestly, focus is just alignment assignment, being in the right place, not trying to do too much. No need to be a superhero. Do my job. Everybody does their job. That's making a play.
Well done, everybody. When we return to the New Orleans Saints training camp report right here on CST, my partner John DeShazer with an exclusive interview with Saints offensive lineman, former LSU product, former Brother Martin High product, Will Clapp. All that and more coming up on the show. It's the New Orleans Saints training camp report right here on CST, presented by SeatGeek.
Well, now we'll welcome to the show offensive lineman Will Clapp, proud LSU alum. We don't have the LSU fight song music playing right now, Will, but we'll start with that. How do you feel like the Tigers are going to be this year?
I like the Tigers on the comeback year this year. I never doubt Coach O. He's always got a plan, and I think those guys love playing for him, so I think it'll be a good year.
You know, okay, what happened last year? What did you see last year?
I mean, come on, dude. They lost like the whole starting lineup from the national championship team. You have that many guys leave, new players, a bunch of new stuff happening. It's going to take a minute to get everybody right. And last year they got a lot of valuable experience, and I like them this year to, obviously improve and be better.
Now, as you guys know, Will, 7th-round draft pick for the Saints, really that puts him in a long shot category, I would imagine. But what were you able to do, Will, that made you valuable to this franchise and to continue to still be here?
Yeah, really just versatility. Every year, if you're not a starter, you got to show up and you got to be able to play multiple spots. So my first couple years of center, both guards, and even some jumbo tight end, just to obviously just stick around and be a help in that room whenever I'm needed.
We see that from you now. We see you playing some backup center. We know you're going to play the backup swing places. You started some in those positions also. How valuable is having that starting experience for the Saints? Because you started 3 games, a couple of them at guard. So how valuable is that?
It's a huge help. Just going in there, knowing, obviously being in the system for a while, having that starting experience, it just it helps just being able to go in there and hopefully just be able to pick up where the starters left off. Not really feel a difference in the flow of the game.
When Will Clapp looks at his NFL career, what do you envision?
Really just take it a year at a time, enjoy every minute of it, and try to make the most of it.
How much are you enjoying it so far? You've made it to your hometown team, started some games for your hometown team, been on a couple of playoff teams with your hometown team. How much are you enjoying it so far?
It's been awesome. Obviously playing in New Orleans, being around my family. My wife and I have loved it so far, and try to stick around as long as I can.
I got to ask about that now. What is it like to be from here, playing for your hometown team with family? What is that demand like?
My family's really good about it. My parents, they kind of set the standard my rookie year, and it hasn't been too big of a pain. It's more of a joy than anything.
How difficult was it for you last year? I mean, now players are accustomed to having support, most of them out of town support, but you having the local support, how different was that for you?
Definitely different. Obviously with COVID, my wife and I, we took certain precautions, try to stay clean, and we didn't see family for the last couple months of the season. Just try to stay, try not to get sick or anything, and it was tough, but we made it through.
Now you're on an offensive line that's been pretty much intact, a lot of cohesion there. Where do you fit, and how do you feel that cohesion works?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a tight-knit group. We have a lot of guys that have been here for a long time, and I think that just shows in the way we play. Everybody knows how each other moves, how we communicate, and I think that's what makes us one of the best O-lines, one of the deepest O-lines in the NFL.
Tell us Will Clapp's strengths as an offensive lineman.
I think some of my greatest strengths are probably, some power. I feel like I'm a pretty intelligent player. Kind of use that type of stuff to, try to help my weaknesses and, play to my strengths.
Now, you've had an opportunity to snap to Drew Brees, who's going to the Hall of Fame. You had an opportunity to snap some to Jameis Winston, snap some to Taysom Hill, among others. When you're a center, does it matter who you snap it to? I mean, do guys, feel different, so to speak?
No, not really. Honestly, once you get I would say the first 2 or 3 times you snap to them, and then after that you kind of just, the center and the quarterback, they learn each other, and now I can snap with any of these guys and, not feel a difference.
All right. Well, folks, that's Will Clapp, and we are going to break, and we'll be back in a moment.
Final segment of the New Orleans Saints training camp report right here on CST. I'm Todd Graffanini, and this is John DeShazer. JD, we talked yesterday about 7 officials being in town to kind of go over things with the players, the coaches, the staff, what's to be expected of them. Well, they had their big presentation last night, obviously very important here at the facility.
Yeah, points of emphasis is huge every offseason because you want to know what the officials will be looking a little bit more closely at during the upcoming season. And that's really the point of the presentation. What are the new points of emphasis?
Yeah, let's hear from head coach Sean Peyton on what the officials discussed last night.
Unsportsmanlike conduct will be a point of emphasis that, going forward. There's some adjusted rules relative to when you can cut a player and when you can't cut a player, and so any low blocks are going to happen inside the not the tackle box, but one more space, the tight end box, 5 yards either way, and so a receiver can't go downfield and cut a safety, and flip side, when a tackle's pulling and a corner is going to support the run, he can't go low. And so all of these are to reduce the head and neck injury.
Well, JD, wide receiver Chris Hogan has been in this league for a long time. Again, we pulled him off the lacrosse field a couple of weeks ago, but boy, he has really been a steadying influence in the wide receiver room, especially to all these young guys.
You know, you look in that room right now, and if it was a talk show, you'd call it the green room. I mean, all those guys are inexperienced, really green. And so you're able to bring in Chris Hogan, who gives them that element of experience and production in the NFL.
Well, not only will they do that, but he is being looked on as a mentor. It's a role that he relishes in that room.
I love it. I embrace all those guys when they want to ask me questions about different routes and you know, how to see coverages, and you know, because I love this game, and I've put so much work in and you know, studying this game and defenses and how to do this, because I had to be, you know, I had to be technical with everything that I had, you know, everything that I did in route running, and I had to be, you know, as perfect as I could be. So you know, I love talking to these guys.
Well, that's all the time we have for the show. JD, you are on a plane tomorrow, sir. You are headed to Baltimore. Cannot wait to watch this game and then talk about it after. It's something we've been waiting now, literally, for 2 weeks.
I'm really excited. Something I would never have thought in my lifetime I would say I'm looking forward to a preseason game. I really am. So let's get to Baltimore. Let's see it happen.
JD, travel safe. We'll see you when you get back. And as for the show, we will be back next week for a full recap of the Saints versus Ravens preseason game. I am Todd Graffanini. This is John DeShazer. You have been watching the New Orleans Saints Training Camp Report right here on CST, presented by SeatGeek.